Hey everybody, if you're just tuning in, I'm going to wait until 7:30, but I want to give everybody a chance to get online. And we're going to have a presentation about what makes Bunkie so awesome. Hope you're excited about it. I know I sure am. Move my face up a tiny bit. Alright. I'm going to play that video one more time. It's a pretty cool video. This is us building a Bunkie in a very short period of time. All right, everybody, if you're just signing in, welcome to the stream. My name is David Fraser, and I run a company called Bunkie Life. We're from Ontario, Canada. And you better be from Ontario, Canada if you're in this contest, because that's the rules. You got to be from Ontario, Canada, or a resident of Ontario, Canada, I should say. I'd love to hear where everybody's from. While we start the presentation, I'm going to let everybody get in. What's your name, where you're from? That'd be wonderful to hear. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a short little presentation. I'll show you the agenda. This is tonight's live stream agenda. And then we're going to take questions at the end. So I got about maybe a 5 or 10 minute thing to talk about. And then, I'd love to hear questions. So if you're tuning in from YouTube, give me a shout out. If you're tuning in from Facebook, give me a shout out. We're trying to stream to both, and I hope that tonight is not going to crash. So Sunday was a day of technical difficulties. Today is a day of just championing. So once again, we're going to talk about what's great about Bunkies, what's great about specifically our company, how we're different than other companies, and what's good about us. And then we're going to take questions and answers about anything contest related or Bunkie related. Either way is fine. So welcome everybody. If you're just signing in, I'd love to hear where you all are coming from. So your name and where you're from would be wonderful. Okay, while we get into it, because the live stream thing is so popular and I really enjoy talking to people, as you probably can tell, I'm a chatter. So we're going to do a bunch of live streams, and I've kind of broken them up into short little presentations. Each one will be worth 100 points if you listen for the code word that I'm going to tell during this presentation and then type it in. Then you'll get 100 points. So we'll do as many as we can, because why not get more points if you can? So here's kind of the calendar of all the live stream events. I'll show you guys. So today, what's so great about Bunkies? 7:30. Hold on, get that logo out of the way. Okay, and then Wednesday we'll take a break off. Thursday is Valentine's Day, be with your loved ones. Friday is how to build a Bunkie. We'll go into detail about like how I built mine and just all the different techniques that we can use. And then Saturday, we're not going to do much on the weekend, obviously. And every video is going to be worth 100 points, like I said. Here's week 2. On Sunday at 7:30, we're going to do a live stream about how to maintain your Bunkie. I interviewed a lot of people last year about what to do, what not to do. I did a lot of things you shouldn't do, so you can learn from my mistakes over the years. And then Tuesday, we're going to talk about ordering the delivery process. And then Thursday, for the people out there that are thinking about doing the Airbnb thing, I will just open up my all my numbers and everything, all my experiences of doing that. I've had over 1,000 guests on my 3 different Bunkies on Airbnb, so you can ask questions about that. And if at any point you can't tune in, that's okay too. If you're watching a replay, you can always ask questions after the fact, and I'll go back and answer them in the comments. So that's week 2. And then the final week, of course, is Sunday. We're going to explain our 2-day sale, and then we're going to announce the winner. We'll kind of wrap things up on Sunday, and then announce the winner on Tuesday, the 26th at 7:30 right here on YouTube and Facebook. And then we have our epic 2-day sale. I won't tell you all about that, but you'll hear about that. It's going to be epic. It's going to definitely be our best deal of the year. So once again, that's our agenda. So hope everybody's tuned in now. We're going to start with kind of, I told the story a little bit. I'm going to give you the Coles Notes version of how I got into Bunkies. So as I said last time, I am the proud owner of these 2 children and my lovely wife. Owner is not the right word, but this is my fam. Carrie, Evie, and Hope. And we live in the country outside of this little town called Erin, which is outside Toronto. And we live on a nice big hill out in the middle of nowhere. And essentially, once we had Evie, my parents wanted to visit a lot. They wanted to come visit us. and see the grandkids, and all of my family and Carrie's family lives very far away. So 3 hours away, they had to come and they had to stay over. And so they were crashing on the couch. And this is a stock photo of what my mom looked like when she had crashed on the couch. So she started sending me all these tiny home listings. And so I took the leap after much prompting from my mom, and I started building a bunkie. I had to research all about it, and this was what I thought that was the best choice. So I had to order it and import it, and it was a huge thing. And we ended up building. This is some clips of the bunkies actually coming together. This actually isn't our bunkie, but similar bunkie. And you can see how the logs all lock together. And I really, really fell in love with the bunkie, and we built the entire structure. My wife, my father-in-law, and my father. This is me and my dad and my father-in-law. And we built the whole thing in one day, one Saturday. And then we had to stain it and stuff later. But we got the whole thing up in one day. And here's the finished product. And I immediately started throwing it on Airbnb, and I've just fallen in love with these bunkies. So I'm not just a guy that's like, super excited about bunkies. I'm also like an owner, and I rent them out on Airbnb. And here's one of the, here's our 2017 model. And here's the inside. So, that's basically a nutshell of the story. So let's talk about what is a bunkie. So I was looking up today on Wikipedia and stuff. And what a bunkie is defined as, it's like an Ontario only term. Like mostly only people from Ontario know what a bunkie is. Everyone else in the States calls it something else. Even out in Alberta, they call it something else. But here in Ontario, we call it a bunkie. And what it is a freestanding bedroom separate from the main house, which may or may not include other facilities. A fully outfitted house would be called a guest house. So to differentiate, it's not a house, it's a bunkie, right? It's like a little structure you can add onto your cottage or your house for extra sleeping, or an arts and craft room, or like a little nap cabin or escape. And in lots of areas, they're small enough that you don't need a building permit. So that's kind of what a bunkie is. And they're great because it's one way to add space onto your house without having to, go through the whole rigmarole of a permit or an addition, which are very expensive, and your whole house is turned upside down for 3 to 5 months, depending on how slow your contractors are. And you can just whip them up, right? So lots of people up until now have just been doing it yourselves, go to the store and get the lumber. I want to talk about what's great specifically about the bunkie life stuff. So let me tell you about our kits specifically, what I think is great about them. So why Bunkie Life kits? I think a big part about what's great is that obviously all of our standard kits, they don't require a permit. So we've actually engineered them just so that they just sneak under that limit that you need for the Ontario Building Code. And so they're really no hassle, just throw them up. We also can do bigger custom structures if you guys want that, but our standard kits on our website, they are just under that building permit. So you don't need a building permit, at least according to the Ontario Building Code. And they come with everything. So our kits include the door, the window, the lock, for the keys for the lock, the ladder up to the loft, the trim. They come with pretty much everything you need except for a flat place to put it on. And then we also don't include the roof finishing, so you can pick whatever color shingle or metal you want. So other than that, it comes with everything. And I think a real advantage that we have is that our bunkies finish really nice on the inside and on the outside. So let me show you what I'm kind of talking at. So if you see our bunkies, they look really sharp on the outside, that log look. And they look really sharp on the inside. So you can see the way that it finishes on the inside. You walk in the Bunkie Life kits and it really feels solid, right? This stuff, the DIY builds, or even our competitors, I won't name names, but we have some great competitors that I really respect, and they have some great offerings. But I think if you look, I'll show you an example of one of our competitors. Hopefully they don't mind. Kind of stole it from their website. But you see, this is like one of our competitors, and you kind of have that exposed plywood look, and you can see the posts and the beams and everything, and it feels very much like you're in a shed. I went to the home show and I saw every one of our competitors 2 years ago, and every single one of them you feel like you're in a shed. So that's a real advantage, because if you compare it with ours, like you feel like you're in a log cabin, right? Because you are in a log cabin. And here's another shot of our competitor stuff. It just feels like you're kind of surrounded by plywood, and kind of like that feeling of just being in a tiny little shed. Our bunkies really finish nice from the outside as well. and have some nice little details. But I think the biggest advantage is how nice ours finish inside. And the way they do that is, let me show you. I'll go back a bit. There's these interlocking tongue and groove building components that we use. And hold on, I'm going to go back and show you that video again. So the way that there's two grooves, and you can't see it too well here, but there's two grooves and two tongues. And when they go together, they're pretty much almost airtight. So you don't feel the wind when you're inside a Bunkie Life Bunkie. They come together really, really solid. It's kind of like once they're hammered in, they're there. And that's all you need is just a mallet or a hammer to kind of put them in place. You don't need any power tools, which is another huge advantage of our stuff. You don't need any power tools. You just need a mallet of some sort. Maybe you don't need any saws. You need a ladder. I'll go into the tools later, but in a nutshell, they're really easy to build, and we also can install for you too. And we're an Ontario-based company. That's another advantage. Some of the companies that I noticed when I was doing my research, they would say they're from Ontario, but when you actually call them, it's an American company. There's not a whole lot of like Ontario-based companies. There's some in Quebec, but in terms of like Ontario-based companies, I think we're one of the only ones that specializes in just the Ontario market, because that's what I know and that's what I love. And we also have we offer financing now. This is the first time this year, but you can buy your Bunkie in like 10 easy payments kind of thing. And also we have our 3 guarantees. I think that's unique to our company as well. So the number one guarantee is if you don't love your Bunkie in the first 60 days, you can get your money back and we'll take the Bunkie back. No one's ever taken us up on that offer, but it's there if you need it. Because if you're not pumped to pay us, then we don't want your money. Secondly, if anything breaks, in the unlikely event something breaks or breaks down or whatever, there's a 5-year warranty on any of our like parts and stuff. So we're happy to replace that or pay for the replacement. And then we also have our neighbors impressed guarantee. If your neighbors don't agree with you that it's the best looking Bunkie on the block, then we'll buy them a beer and tell them to get their eyes checked. So those are our 3 guarantees. I think that's probably the differentiation point. We're going to go into questions and answers in just a few seconds. So thanks for holding off on your questions. I'm going to I wanted this presentation to be like, maybe 25 minutes, but I'll stay until the end of questions. So I'll just keep answering them until we're done. And I'm going to tell the code word in just a second too. So you can get the 100 points. Please wait an hour after the presentation so I have time to go on the website and turn it on. But yeah, I'll show you. Actually, let me show you how to do that, because that's one common concern people have. So I'm going to go on and do a screen share of showing you how to get onto the contest scoreboard and how to get the points once you know the code word. So let's go into screen share here. So you're going to go to bunkielife.com and then click About and go to the contest scoreboard. This is the place where you're going to go to see how many points you have and find your unique link that you share. Okay, which is the best way to get points. See this little thing that says copy? This little link here, hope you guys can see that. That is how you get all the points. Share that with your friends and family. That's a good way. But if you keep scrolling down, at the bottom here, there's watch the live stream number 1. That was on Sunday. You can still go back to watch it. If you click here and then click on watch, it'll take you to the page of videos. But there'll also be a second button about an hour after this. It'll say, watch the presentation about why Bunkies are so great. And then it'll be another 100 points. Okay, so that's how you get to that. If you ever lose it, just remember you go to bunkielife.com, click About, and then click Contest Scoreboard. That's the best way to find it, because I know people sometimes forget. So anyways, where was I going with that? Lost my train of thought. But yeah, that's what I think is great about our Bunkies specifically. And I was going to say, you're probably finding yourself in one of 3 camps. There's going to be some people that are just like, I'm just here for the free Bunkie. I just want to know how to get the most points and how to potentially win this thing, and I'm never going to buy one, and that's totally fine. You're still welcome in this contest, and thanks for sharing and spreading the word. Number 2, you might be kind of on the fence. I'm not sure. I don't know about this crazy guy. I don't know about this product. Hopefully over the next week or so, over the live streams and the presentations and stuff, you'll get a good, clear picture of, is this something I want to do? Is this right for me, or is it not? Right? And that's fine. When you are thinking, yeah, I might be interested, I would suggest give me a call. You can just reach out to me at 1-866-4-BUNKIE. You can give me a call. I pick up the phone when you call. Or you can go to meet.bunkielife.com and that will take you to a thing where you can book a time to chat with me. So meet.bunkie.com. So either way is fine, because it's a big investment for a lot of people. So you probably want to talk to someone before you drop $6,000 on something. So we're going to be having a big sale right after the contest closes for 2 days. I won't go into that, but I want to make sure you're not like, oh my gosh, there's a big sale. No, there's a big sale. It will be the best opportunity of the year to buy one. So get all your questions answered now, not on February 27th to 28th, because I'm going to be taking phone calls all day and doing orders all day. So I might be kind of busy to answer, like, does your Bunkie come with a loft? Yeah, it does. So let's get all the questions answered now. Okay, so let's go into Q&A time right now. I'm going to start at the top and go down as fast as I can. So if you could hold off on your questions for a little bit, there's a lot of questions. Okay, scrolling to the top. All right, everyone's excited. Everyone's saying where they're from, which is wonderful. Okay, and I'm scrolling down here. I'm trying to find the first question. So yeah, I guess, if you guys have questions now, start typing them in the chat box below. You can do it on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube, or you can do it on Facebook. I should get them both. People from Port Stanley. Hey, Kaylee, I love Port Stanley. All right. Napanee, Belleville. Wait, someone said they're from Petrolia. Hi, Tammy LeBlanc. I grew up in Petrolia. That's my hometown. My parents, Deb and Dale Fraser, still live in Petrolia. All right. So I'm scrolling down. Okay, it's Teresa Ebony Don said, I can't wait to see how to build a Bunkie. I'll go into detail on that next presentation. That's on Friday at 7:30. Okay. Okay. So, scrolling down for questions. People are excited about this contest. I'm glad. This is making my heart glad that everyone's having a good time. Since Sunday, okay, Hillary Clark Holmes asks, since Sunday I've been wondering about the foundations for these. If you go to YouTube and type in Bunkie Foundation, there's a video I did that will come right up. But in a nutshell, what I'd recommend is, if you have a flat enough area, put down patio stones or cinder blocks of some sort and make it all level. And then what I did on mine is I put 4x4 pressure treated fence posts. They're like big long logs kind of, and then I built on top of that. All the Bunkies come with the floor ready to go. They come with the floor. You just want to make sure that you're a little bit off the ground so there's no chance of water getting onto it or into it. So if you're a little elevated off the ground, like, that much, then you're good to go. I have a video that explains that, though, if you, I'll comment that later. In love with the Bunkie. Need the Bunkie. Awesome. Oh, Allison says, I'm planning on staying in one of your Bunkies when I'm hiking the Bruce. Yeah, we're really close to the Bruce Trail. If you type in Erin, Ontario, in Airbnb, we're the number 1, 2, and 3 listings. We have the most people have come and stayed. Scrolling through for questions. So if you've got questions, fire them in. Nancy asks, can you make them so you could live in it all seasons? I would say it's possible. You'd have to insulate them, which is possible, but I have not insulated mine. I just put a couple electric heaters in there, and I've had guests stay up until January, February, and even in like the cold of winter, but it gets pretty cold inside if it gets below -10. So it's not too bad. It's actually pretty cozy around freezing, or a little less than freezing, but once it gets really cold, without insulation, it's quite cold. So some of our clients this past year insulated the floor and insulated the roof, and that helped a lot for them. So I would say it's like a 3.5 season cabin. I wouldn't want to be one in the deep of winter unless you want to go full insulation. So Shireen Kent asks, great, no permit. Did you drop it already made or just in kits? We can install for you, but our kits come in a big pallet and then people build them. I find that's easier. Dropping them off of a truck or something, I feel like that's not the safest, just in terms of like keeping it fully 100%. There's some companies that do that. We just build it on site if you can't build it yourself, but most people can. About 80% of our clients build it themselves. Carl, somebody's dissing their Bunkie. Not like this piece of crap we have. Sorry about your bad Bunkie. Yeah. Okay, everyone's really enthusiastic. Cheryl asked, are they insulated at all? Yeah, so that's a common question. So I think I kind of answered it, but they're not bad. Like, considering they're just logs, they're pretty decent. But they're you need a heating source of some sort. Nancy asked, do you have issues with your parents? Or do your parents have issues climbing into the loft? No, my parents are in their late 50s, so they're still limber. I think an 80-year-old might have trouble climbing up a ladder, but that's, just, you can fit a queen-size bed on the ground floor and a queen-size bed upstairs, so just make old people sleep on the bottom floor. I'm just scrolling down here. Okay, people are asking specific questions about the contest. I'm going to go back and comment that, Brenda Marie. I see you're having troubles. Yeah, Jen says she loves the red roof. Thanks. My wife picked that out. Okay, so fire out your questions. I'm scrolling through them about halfway through here. If you got any questions about Bunkies, now's the chance. Oh, Shireen says, I'm looking also for a shed of 10 by 14. Talk to us. We can do custom stuff. Okay. Gail Aikens asks, what size base would we need to build first before placing the Bunkie on? If I remember correctly, it's roughly a 10 by 10 structure. Our 2019 model is a little more rectangular. It's like 9 by 12, and then our 2018 is more like a square. There's a helpful video of how to build each kit that comes before you get it, and we tell you exactly what measurements to build your base to. But yeah, roughly 10 by 10. All right. Scrolling down. Everyone's having a good time. Someone says, I would have somewhere to send my teenager when he gets mouthy. That's awesome. Crazy guy. Oh, Jennifer says, that's from the oil and petroleum. Yeah, there's a lot of crazies from petroleum. It's true. So Dan's homestead says, where we live, there's no building required. So this is basically your house in a box. Yeah, it's a bunkie in a box. It's not a house, but it's a bunkie in a box for sure. Alana asks, can you insulate? I answered that question already. Can you add a wood stove? I always say, check your local building bylaws and such. It is a wood structure. Throwing in a wood stove, you want to make sure you're careful with that stuff. Because because I have electricity at my house, it's not that far from the house. It's about 200 feet. I just ran power to it, and that's how I heat mine. But have our clients put in wood stoves? I believe they have. Are they wet certified? None of my business. I don't know, but you can totally do it. How many can they sleep? Lorraine Potter Morley asks. 4. You can sleep 2 people up in the queen size bed up in the loft. You can fit 2 people on the ground floor. Gabriella asks size. So all of our bunkies are just under that permit needed size, so roughly 105 square feet. We have one that is exactly 10 by 10, and then we have one that's like 9 by 12. It's a little bit bigger. Our 2019 is our most popular model. I'm anticipating being our most popular model this year. And it's a bit bigger than the other one. Wood enthusiasts, I got to call you guys. Sorry about that. I've been neglecting that. Interested in your podcast. Can you get a deal on multiple orders? Call me about that. Maybe we can make something work. I'm a guy. I'm willing to negotiate if you're ordering more. Last year somebody ordered a couple and we hooked them up. How do you deal with toileting for Airbnb? That's a great question. I'll go into that on the Airbnb episode, which is in a couple, 10 days or so. But I have 3 bunkies, and then I have a 4th bunkie that's kind of like the centralized bathroom with a composting toilet in it. And so the bunkies are all pretty separate, but you can walk to that bathroom and get there, and it works pretty good. And the composting toilet was friggin' expensive, but it was totally worth it. Gina asked, how far north will you deliver? How far north are you, Gina? We've gone pretty far north. Tina asks, is it a good idea to insulate under the bunkie? Yes. A bunch of our clients did it this year, and I wish I did it, because sometimes my floors get a little cold. I'm thinking about putting a bearskin rug in mine, or something like that. Carol asks, is the loft too warm in the summer? If it's really one of those super hot days, I have an air conditioning unit that I got from Walmart in my one with a loft. It has a window, but all our models now have windows up in the loft, so you can get some breeze going if you open up all the windows. Too warm is a very subjective thing, but if on the really crazy days, it might get a little bit hot, but just open the windows. Mila Watson asks, this is a contest question. Does the person with the most points win? That is a great question. And the way we've tried to do it is, I think, the fairest way, so it's not a big popularity contest. if the more points you have, the more chances you have to win, but anyone can win. So the way it worked last year, we did similar thing. Anyone could win. It's you get more chances if you have more points. And I think Nina, who won, was ranked like a number 305, and she had like, don't quote me on this, but like 100 to 200 points. So she entered, she did a few things, she shared it with a few people, but she didn't go crazy, and she still won. So there's definitely a chance for anybody to win. So don't be discouraged. Obviously, if you're at 50 points, it's very easy to double your amount of points. If you just share it with a couple people and they sign up, then you've doubled your chances. So it's almost better if you have less points you can make really quick improvements. So yeah, anyone can win. Hope that answers that question, Mila. Gabriella Wagner asks, can they be winterized? And the answer to that question is, I kind of think I answered that question. I'd say yes-ish. Eleanor asks, can the bunkie go on an existing patio? Totally, as long as it's semi-flat. Really, we built a bunch on decks last year that were varying degrees of flat. Claire Nelson asks, how long should it take to erect a bunkie, and what type of subfloor is needed to keep it flat? So Claire, I would say get your cinder blocks or your patio stones, and then put some posts or something pressure treated wood on top of that. It's like less than $100. Then get that really flat, and then the kits come with a subfloor and then the actual floor, tongue and groove, really nice looking floor. So it's all included once you get that flat surface. If you're building on a deck, it's already there. You can just build it on top of the deck. How long should it take? I can build one with a helper in one day. I would give yourself a weekend. If you have a bunch of people helping, probably one day. But give yourself a weekend. And that's to get the structure on, get the roof on, get everything finished, and then you might need a little more time to stain it. Some of our customers still haven't stained theirs from last year. They were telling me this week. So, you don't need to stain it right away, but I'd get the stain on as quickly as possible. If you Google Bunkie stain or Bunkie paint, there's a whole video I did on that too, and I interviewed someone what to use. Cheryl Grant asks, would you recommend insulating them? Yeah, I would recommend insulating the floor like I talked about. I wish I had done mine. If you can, maybe insulate the roof. I would not recommend insulating the sides unless you need it in the winter, like in the dead of winter. Sheila Pepping Buck says, watching from Strathroy. Hi, Sheila. Strathroy. Oh, the wood enthusiasts are from Corunna. Man, this is Southwestern Ontario reunion. Post your questions in capital letters so they're easy for David to read. That's really, really helpful. Actually, let's adopt that. I'm just going to go with it. If you have a question, do it in all caps. Corey Mack says, restool. No idea what that means, bro. Kelly Hamilton Wilson asks, hey, Dave, how much taller is the loft now that you've added extra boards? We've added one row, so it's that much taller, just to give you a little more headroom. So if you go on bunkielife.com, there's a 3D tour of our 2017 model, and our 2019 model is very similar, but it has a window up in the loft now, which everyone wanted, and it's one board higher, so it's just that more bit of headroom. Should be really nice. Derek asks, how solid do the footings need to be? 3 feet deep or floating? I just floated mine, and I've had them for 5 years now, so they've done well. It depends on your area. Like, I have really good drainage, so there's no water issues, but Alana Justine asks, can you heat insulate wood stove? I've answered all those questions earlier in the video, but thanks for the question. My husband is in a wheelchair. Would it be possible to make the Bunkie wheelchair accessible? You could definitely put a little ramp up to the main floor. Getting up the ladder would probably not be possible. But yeah, definitely the ground floor would be no problem. So you could do a very little ramp. It wouldn't be a big deal. Judith asks, what kind of foundation is required? So I've mentioned that a few times in the video too. So if you just type in, I'll comment the video in, but it's if you just go to YouTube and type in Bunkie foundation, it'll pop right up. And there's a video of me explaining what I did. Ken says, is there delivery charge to Gravenhurst area? We do have a delivery charge. It's usually pretty fair to get up to Gravenhurst. It's not too much. I don't want to give all the details away, but that might be included in the 2-day amazing epic sale coming up at the end of the month. So stay tuned for that. I'm not making a commitment here, but stay tuned for that. Tanya asks, okay. Hi, Tanya. You're excited. I'm excited too. Beverly asks, how many windows? That depends on the kit. Our 2019 model has one in the loft, one on the side, one on the door that it's French doors, the double doors, and then one right next to the doors. So a lot, three or four depending if you count the door. And then our 2018 has even more windows as well, but they're smaller. So everyone's saying where they're from. Hi everybody. PJ Gagnon says, "Can you turn the Bunkie into a greenhouse?" No, it would be too complicated to do that in terms of letting enough light in for plant growth. So I'd say no. Angie Capone says, "I'm from Prince Edward County. Can you add a small wood stove?" I've answered that question a few times. I can't legally say yes, but can you? Have customers done it? Probably. Would it heat the space up really well? Totally. Shireen says, "Do you do sheds 10 by 14 barn door style door? What would be the cost?" Shireen, give me a call about that. We do custom stuff, and we might even have a kit that we could get that's very similar to that style. So yeah, I think give us a call. Okay. Wood enthusiast, he may be checking Facebook questions. No, I'm checking. I can see YouTube and I can see Facebook questions. Debbie Harris, do they have plumbing? No, they do not. You can add plumbing, but it might be a little awkward if you have a bedroom with a toilet in it, unless it's just one person. Sherry Swart asks, "Is the Bunkie floor made from pressure-treated wood?" Yes. In our 2019 model, the floorboards go on top of they call them the runners. So those are pressure treated, but then the floorboards are on top. On our 2018 model, they're not pressure treated. So we upgraded that this year. Karen says she loves the guarantees. Awesome. Beverly asks, "What do you do about washroom facilities?" I answered that earlier in the stream, so hopefully that's helpful. How do you put your electrical plugs and lights in your Bunkies? Yes, I ran them outside and I did conduit. Yes, basically I just ran them, drilled through, put the box right here up against the wall, so you don't even see the wire, and then the wire goes into the ground. An electrician did that, not me. Claire asks, "Can you add a small fridge?" Totally. Yeah, you can, actually, a bunch of our customers did that. Do the windows and doors come with the kit? Yes, they do. Great question, Claire. Pretty much everything comes with it. The lock, the key, the door, the windows and doors. The doors obviously open, but the windows open too, which is nice. Lynn says, "Are windows able to open with screening?" Yes, they are able to open. And Thomas says, "I'm ugly as hell." Sorry, man. Just the way I was born. Yeah, so the screens don't come with the kit, but you can buy they're $20 a Canadian Tire, and you can buy the screen kit that fits perfectly in, and I have a video that shows how to do that too. Christine says, "If I move, can I take it apart and take it with me?" Yes, it's a pain in the butt, though. When the logs come together, they're like airtight, they're super tight, and sometimes we'll even screw them on the edges. It's really a pain in the butt. I would not recommend it if you can possibly avoid it. Don't try to move them, because they're 2,500 pounds. They're a big structure, but totally possible. Okay, Carrie Johnson says, "Hi David, wondering if screens could be made for the windows." Yeah, totally. You can totally make screens, and there's a video. If you type in like Bunkie Life screens, I'm sure it'll come up too into YouTube. Linda says, "If I'm building up off the ground, do you include a step that blends in?" No, we don't include a step because they're not that far off the ground. That far. Like basically, it already is a step. But if you need help with that, I mean, if we're installing the Bunkie, we can help you with that. If you want us to build a little step, not a big deal. Has anyone put a wood stove in the Bunkie? I've mentioned that a few times. Yes, they have. Marshall Law says, "Are you not checking the YouTube questions?" I believe I am. I'm seeing YouTube comments, and I think I'm checking them. Stephanie Little says, "Is it possible to put up on piles?" If by piles you mean stakes in the ground that come up like this and that you build on top of, yes, you can. And my mother actually built a Bunkie this past year up on sonar tubes, like a good 4 or 5 feet above the ground. It's amazing. It's on Airbnb too, or it was on Airbnb. So, yeah. Mike Childs on YouTube says, "Hello, very exciting contest. Have you had any clients in the Calaboogie area?" I think so. Where's Calaboogie? I always mix up Caledonia, Caledon, and Calaboogie. So, probably. Just email me if you want to come check out either our Bunkies in Erin, or if we have any clients out. Most of our clients are cool. Like, we have really cool clients, so they're like, "Yeah, come over, check out our Bunkies," if they're home. But a lot of people have shut down their cottages for the winter, so they're not home. Connie Samet, "Is there a question that we have to enter a specific answer this time to receive the 100 points?" Yes, there will be a question, and I got to mention that code, don't I? So the secret password will be noodles, Okay, so this I forgot to mention that code name. Sorry about that. It's noodles. Okay, so if you type in noodles, give me an hour, and then at the bottom of the scoreboard there'll be a second video. Watch this video, which will be this video. Type in noodles. Okay. Beverly says, can a window be put in the loft? Yes, we have, all of our kits now have windows in the loft. We've discontinued our one that has no loft window. Lee Piper asks, are you able to simultaneously see comments on the YouTube feed? I think so. I'm seeing them. I hope I'm answering them. Sorry, guys. I'm a little behind on these comments. There's a lot of them. Deb says, perhaps with a brick wall you could put in a wood stove. Yes, you need to have non-combustible material around a wood stove. I know that. But I'm not a wet certifier. Gail Atkins asks, have you built one with a compostable toilet? Yes, I have. I have a bunkie with it's just the bathroom bunkie with a compostable toilet in it. Yeah, and some of our clients are looking into the small stove thing. Everyone's talking about it. Yeah. Daniel says, check your local wood burning regulations. They vary. They absolutely do. So Don asked a really good question. How long does it take from purchase to delivery? So that depends on the season. Last year we sold out and everybody got ticked off because there's a long wait list. This year I'm hoping with that 2-day epic sale happening February 27th to 28th that everyone's going to get off their butts, order early, get the best deal of the year, and avoid the price increase that's coming on March 1st. And we'll all get our big order together, and then we can give you the best deal on shipping because we're just going to do one big shipment that whole week when they come in and get you the best deal. So I'm anticipating if we order everything before March 1st, we'll probably get it hopefully before May long weekend. So it takes usually 6 to 10 weeks, sometimes 12 weeks. So don't delay. If you are serious, give me a call or go to meet.bunkielife.com. I would love to talk with you and figure out, if we can make it work. Lee Piper asks, how thick are the walls? They're about that thick. Like a substantial log. If you add a deck, Nicole asks, do you need a permit then? If the deck is bigger than 107 square feet, then yes, I believe you would. There's ways around that. You can build like a small deck here, and then another deck here with a bunkie on it, so that you have a deck in front, a separate deck from this deck. Some people do crazy things like that. Just make sure you fly it by the town. Don't get your bunkie torn down because you didn't comply. Cheryl Dwyer-Jones asked, do the windows open? Yes, they open. Do they have screens? Yeah, you can put screens in. They're not included in the kit, but they're really easy to put in. They're like $20. What's the recommendation for footings? I answered that question earlier. Compostable toilet and solar panels are a great idea. Yeah, so one of our clients did a really cool solar panel video for us. If you type in Carlton Place, Bunkie Life, it'll come right up. His name's Mark Jeremiah, really good guy. And he had a whole solar, it's awesome. Yeah, so Michelle asked, do you get many insects inside? No, not unless people leave the door open, and then in case you do. Diane says, do you install in the Halliburton area? Yes, we do. In fact, we installed a bunch last summer. Oh, Charlene. How's it going, Charlene? Charlene's from Sarnia. And she was a great client. We love our bunkie. Do you have YouTube videos on what the interior should look like? We have a lot of extra wood, LOL. Yeah, there's a lot of extra pieces. I will send you something. Yeah. Okay. Well, Charlene, just give me a call or we'll talk about it later. Because, there's a lot of extra trim that they throw in there that some people use, some people don't. There's also, up in the loft, you can have a safety rail. Most people don't install that unless they have small kids. So probably 90% of your stuff you don't need, but no big deal. Dan's Homestead says, will you be delivering north of Sault Ste. Marie? Sure. How much is shipping if out of your area? Well, it depends on how far we got to go, but Sault Ste. Marie's a fair jog. Give me a call or shoot me an email and we'll give you an exact quote. I don't want to misquote you on that. Marcia says, miss the password. The password, once again, is noodles. For anyone wondering about heating, tiny house heating options. Yeah, check out, there's a lot of cool things like propane stuff. Is there a delivery charge to Gravenhurst? Yes, it's pretty fair though. It's not that far. Do the windows come with screens? Yes, or no, they don't, but you can add them quite easily. What is the size of the bunkie you're giving away? I'm going to give, whoever wins, I'm going to give them the choice of which bunkie they want, the 2018 or the 2019 probably. Probably going to recommend the 2019. It's going to be the better one, but either one's fine. And both those models have a window in the loft. We don't sell the one without a loft window anymore. Michelle says, deliver to Fergus. That's near me. Absolutely. That wouldn't be too expensive because we're pretty close to you. People are saying, Can they be put on? Oh, Michelle Wood asks, they be put on wheels to be movable like a trailer? Absolutely. Yeah, you could totally do that. You need a pretty substantial trailer though. Sorry, someone's cutting out and they said that they missed the code. The code again is noodles. Fingers crossed. Oh. Roseanne Perkins says, I put spray foam under mine, works great. Yeah, totally. Do some spray foam or even just the sheet foam. Angela asked, now I'm confused. How can anyone win the contest? Draw? Yeah, it's a draw. Like we're going to draw a random number basically, and then that's going to correspond. So the more points you have, the more chances you have. But yeah, it's a draw. Diane says, does the contest winner have to build the bunkie themselves? Last year's did. Installation is not included in the win, but we can build it for you if you want to pay the fee. Yeah, it's usually around $1,000 to $1,200. Depends on a lot of factors. We'll figure it out though. If you can't build it yourself, we'll help you. When you insulate the floor, how do you keep the rodents out? I haven't had any rodent issues really, so I can't. I mean, the floors are pretty it's a tongue and groove floor. They're pretty tight. There's not a lot of room for anything to get in. Beverly says, can you give advice on how to finish the roof? Yes. Use a Vic West metal roof. They're not that expensive. They'll last forever. Yeah, totally do that if you can. Deb says, Port Dover. Love Port Dover. I used to perform there a lot. Okay, cool. Vicky says, is it stained or can it be customized? So it comes just the raw wood. It's Nordic spruce. And you can stain it whatever color you want. They have stains, like just clear stains that keep the original wood look, and they have colored stains. It's pretty awesome what they have in terms of stains. Sherry asks, is the bunkie floor made of pressure? The base that you build the actual floorboards on top of are pressure treated on our 2019 model. Karen asks, what size are they? That's on our product page, the exact sizing, but they're roughly 10 by 10 or 9 by 12 in the new one. Catherine asks, how difficult is it to run hydro or water to the bunkie? Not that hard. I've ran electricity to all my bunkies. I just ran a cord and then just did one little drill hole and then tied a box in. I haven't run water to any of my bunkies, so I don't know. It wouldn't be that hard. Rhonda Kellington, great question. If it hasn't already said, what size is the package when it's picked up pre-building? It's 14 feet long, roughly, by 4 feet high, by 4 feet wide. It is 2,500 pounds. It's really heavy. You need a really good trailer if you want to move it yourself, or we can deliver. We're happy to deliver. Charlene says, I wish we could post a picture of ours. We are using it as a pool house. Remember me from Corona. Yeah, I totally remember you, Charlene. You're awesome. I said Sarnia, but I knew it was Sarnia area. Yeah, great client. Robin says, can we pick it up ourselves if we win? Totally. You can pick it up from a warehouse. It's just in the border of Mississauga and Brampton. Teresa says, is the loft required for structure? I saw a tiny house that had a bed on a lift mechanism, so instead of going upstairs, you brought the bed down to you. Is it possible to omit the lift? I think you probably mean loft. We're selling a model shortly that's just a smaller cabin, just no loft. Maybe you want to buy that one instead of the loft if you don't want the loft. Jenny says, how much does it cost for your team to build it for us? Usually around $1,000 to $1,200, depending on how complex it is. But not too much money. Kathy asks, can it be used during the winter months? Yes, it will get cold when it's really, really cold. Do the windows come with screens? I answered that question a few times. Corey Mack asks, ceiling height. Roughly, I don't know. It's on the website, though. Pretty, I can't touch the ceiling. Probably 12 feet, 13 feet. It's quite high on the at the peak. Dan says, questions in caps, please. Thank you, Dan. You're just keeping everybody organized. Screens on the windows, I've answered that a few times. Water and hydro, I've answered that. Danielle says, do you put the kits together or do you bring them in? We bring the kits to people if they've hired us to build, either ourselves or if we're subcontracting it to a company, then we'll ship you the kit, and then the guys will show up. Guys or girls, but let's be honest, mostly guys. They'll show up and build it right on site. Usually takes a day. Victoria says, do you build chicken coops? No. Deb says, can you add a ceiling fan? Yes. What type of wood? Nordic spruce. Oh, Bunkie Life answered that already. Thank you, Heather. What happens if your name is picked for the Bunkie and you're in the top 10? Can you have the Bunkie and still buy another with the prize you win? Maybe. I'm not going to say yes or no to that question. I'm going to say maybe. Karen asks, what size are they? So if you go on bunkielife.com, click on products, you can see the size of our 2018 and 2019 models. There's a lot of questions. This is great, guys. Yeah, so wait an hour, please, for the code. Sorry if I can't be talking to you and be adding the code in the back end. So, but the code is noodles. Noodles is the secret code. Okay. Michelle says, can you tow it? I don't know what you mean by that, Michelle. Can you elaborate on that question? Yeah. Oh, Jana says, have you ever connected solar to these Bunkies? Yes. Mark Jeremiah, our client, did it this year and did, like, he's got a perfect little setup. With one solar panel, he does a lot of cool stuff. Like, I was talking to him actually on the phone a couple days ago, and he's saying that his wife can watch TV, which is pretty cool. Stuart, what is the code word for the extra points? Noodles. Where do you enter the code? So you're going to go to the contest scoreboard, and then down at the very bottom, there's going to be a little button. It's not up there yet. It won't be up there until 9 o'clock on Tuesday evening. If you're watching the replay, it should be up. Michelle says, do you have any financing? Yes, this year you can finance a Bunkie, and we might have a deal about that at some point this year. But yeah, there'll be financing, and you have to apply for it. It's not through us. It's through another company that has partnered with us. And you can get your Bunkie, 12 easy payments of $500 or something, whatever it is. Jason says, people, unfortunately, you cannot say that you can put a wood stove in the Bunkie for liability purposes. Insurance companies have ruined the world for awesome people like him. Jason pretty much nailed it. Karen asks, have any clients done solar panel? Yes, they have. Oh, you can't solar panel heat electricity? No. Solar panels suck for heat. They're not going to heat your house. They're not going to heat anything. The technology is not there yet. Sorry to burst your green bubble, but you cannot heat any house, any structure at all with solar panels. Heat uses so much electricity. Like, I remember I was on student council, and we would do the high school dances, and they'd bring in these massive speakers like this big, and they'd do this big sound party. And the way they tested that, this huge sound system that would blow everybody's eardrums out, was one hair dryer. So the heating element of a hair dryer uses more electricity than a huge sound system. So heating just uses a ton of stuff. So solar panels are not going to cut it. That's not a Bunkie issue. That's just a physics issue. Carrie says, can I put a skylight in it? Yes. I'm actually going to I want to build a fourth one on my property pretty soon, and I'm going to put a skylight in. We're partnering with a company that's going to be able to do that. The best one in Canada, I think. So, you can totally put a skylight in. Mila asks, roofing. What type of roofing is provided? So it comes with the deck boards, the wooden deck boards, and then if you want to put shingles on the top, you can do that, match your existing cottage or house, or you can do metal, which I recommend do metal, and those aren't included. But if you need help, we can order that or help you order that. But usually it's around $400 for metal, a little less for shingles, but do metal if you have the money. Okay, Charlene says, we have the 2018. Is there a new model for 2019? Yes, there is. It's on the website now. Charlene's the best. Okay, I'm not going to get into the stove thing. I think I've answered that a few times. Will you deliver as far north as Hornpain? I don't know where Hornpain is off the top of my head, but yes, we'll deliver there. How many Bunkies have you sold so far? Kathy White asks. None of your business, Kathy. Carolyn Antonas. Well, we've installed them all over Ontario, so we got a big Rolodex of clients, but in terms of how many, that's like asking how much money's in my bank account. That's not fair. Carolyn asks, can people add generators to them? Yes, you can totally if you put an exterior generator, that would be a good way to power it. Vicky, does it come stained? No, you can stain it however you want. Carolyn asks, what size are they? Yeah, that's on our website as well, bunkielife.com, and then click on products. And we can do custom sizes as well. So if you have something bigger you want done, just shoot me an email. We can make it happen. People are talking about stoves. Everyone loves their stoves. I'm still scrolling down. Solar panels, are they worth it to install? Yeah, I'd say so. If you don't have electricity close enough to the Bunkie, then yeah, you can look at, if you type in Carlton Place Bunkie Life on YouTube, it'll come right up. Mark Jeremiah's presentation on that. Wood enthusiast. Is there enough room for a large man to do a cartwheel? Asking for a friend. Yes, I consider myself a large man, and I could definitely do a cartwheel if there was no bed in there. Carolyn, how long do they take to install? I'd say if you've never done it before, give yourself a weekend with 2 or 3 people working hard, or three would be ideal. If we're installing it for you, we can usually bang it out in a day. Gloria says, do you need to deliver the bunkie or can we pick it up? Yeah, you're welcome to pick it up if you have the right trailer. 2,500 pounds, 14 feet long. Yeah, they're big. Corey says, how are they delivered? Our house is on a hill and we would want the bunkie down at the lake. Would that be difficult? We'll get as close as we can and then we'll help you. I mean, usually we can get pretty close to the build site as long as it's drivable. We usually bring them on a truck and a trailer or sometimes a transport truck if we're doing a lot. So good question. That's a great question. I'm still working through these questions and we've been on for a while. So thanks for your patience and thanks for asking the question. Carolyn said, how much does it cost to deliver to Ottawa? I don't know exactly, but I can quote you on that. Send me an email or give me a call. What's the height in the loft? Do you mean like how high is it in the loft? I don't know exactly, but I can't stand up in the loft, I don't think. So it's probably less than 6 feet at the height, but it's just for kind of getting in and sleeping. It's not like for a soiree. Can we pick it up? Yes, you can if you want. Can we put Everoth, Ontario? Shireen, I don't know what that means. I apologize. Lorraine says, would it be possible to mount a twin-size Murphy bed on the wall? Yes. And in fact, some of our customers have done that. Lisa says, does it need more roofing? Yes, it does. Just needs the finishing. Shingles or metal. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for the encouragement, Angela Macri. That's very encouraging. Oh, Carrie says, I can totally see me putting flower boxes on the windows. We can get flower boxes that match the kit, actually, if you want. That's like an add-on if you want us to do that. Jesse says, what is the difference between the 2018 and 2019? That's a good question. 2019 is a little bit bigger square footage-wise. It has a different front, and it's a little bit more substantial ladder. They're pretty similar, just a bit bigger. And it's until March 1st, it's going to be cheaper. So we're doing a sale. It's going to be $7,000, basically $699, $695 for the 2019 throughout the season. But if you order before March 1st, it's going to be $59.95, which is a pretty good deal. And the 2018 right now, we just upped the price. It's $64.95. Just our supply costs. We're trying to factor that in. Lee Pepper says, Nordic spruce resistant to carpenter ants and other wood chomping bugs. I would assume so. I don't know. I don't want to say yes or no to that question. If you stain the bunkie properly, you should be resistant to bugs. I've never had any issues with mine. Okay. Dale said, trying to find product for sheds. Yeah, we specialize in the bunkie thing, but we can do custom stuff for sheds. So send me an email, Dale Bubar. And if you have a plan in mind, let me know and I can probably help you. Oh. Lee Piper says, I'm in Toronto and just heard you're on the border of Mississauga and Brampton. Do you have a showroom? My showroom is my house in Erin, Ontario. It's on Trafalgar Road, about 20 minutes north of the 401. You're welcome to come by. Lee Piper. Send me an email or give me a call, 1-866-4-BUNKIE, and we will set that up for you so you can swing by. Charlene says, David is amazing as far as support and keeping in contact with us. Delivery was fast and instructions for the kid was easy. We looked at home hardware and by far, Bunkie Life was cheaper and nicer. David is not paying me to say that. Charlene, we both know I'm paying you to say that. No, I'm not. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You're just a tremendously awesome person. What happens if it doesn't fit on my backyard? In my backyard. Roy asks, "What if it doesn't fit in your backyard? Don't order it. I don't want to sell you something that's not going to fit for you." It is built on site, so we can make sure, but measure it at least, a 11 by 11 area to be safe. You're gonna have to do a little bit of homework before you just order this thing. But yeah, hope that answers your question. What I meant was, do you make the kits or do you buy them? We import most of our kits from over in Europe, so we manufacture them over in Europe. I wish we could manufacture them in Canada, but it's not cost effective right now. Cheryl says, does it require a poured concrete floor? Some of our customers have done that, but no, it doesn't require that. Lee says, are you hiring laborers to build bunkies all over Ontario? Yes, I do hire people all over Ontario. We have some carpentry companies that we will use. I built a bunch last year myself personally, and then I'd hire like a high school kid to help me. So yeah, I mean, they're pretty fun to build. Most of our customers build it themselves because they're so fun to build. Yeah, Tina says, do you deliver to the building site or just drop in the driveway? If we can get close to your building site, we will. We'll do it as best as we can to get close for you, and we'll help you unload it. Each individual piece of the kit is not that heavy. You can hand bomb almost anything. The heaviest thing is the door, and I can lift it by myself, so it's not that heavy. Okay, Michelle asks, how do I put the code in? At 9 o'clock, once I finish this stream, we're going to have the button open up, and you're going to enter the code NOODLES. Derek says noodles. Thank you, noodles. Jen Butt says, financing even on the sale event? Probably. I'm going to do a video showing how to do the financing. It's a new company we're just working with called PayBright. So I'm going to make sure that I've worked all the kinks out first, and then before I say yes, but probably. Kim says, when I win, can I give it to my cousin? Sure. Lisa, can it be left as is with no extra roofing materials? It would leak. If the wood boards are pretty snug, but there's still a little bit of it would leak. You need something on the roof. Jason says, foundation in Northern Ontario better to be solid with sonotubes. Yeah. Slightly sloped. My hill is slightly sloped too. I just did on cinder blocks. You'd probably be fine. A lot of our customers did sonotubes this year. I've had bunkies that have been up there for 5 years and they haven't moved at all. So it depends on what you want to do. I think sonotubes, you're not going to regret that, but they're just a lot of work. And they're a lot of time, and they're a little bit of money. Not that much money though. When I'm saying sonotubes, what I mean is they're these like cement posts that go in the ground. You put this little tube of cardboard, you dig it into the ground, and you pour cement into it, and then it's like this cement pillar is what it creates. That's what a sonotube is. Lee Piper, I've seen solar panels heat houses. It was done with heating water. Yeah, even that's not going to be that great. Just my physics background is going, no, that's not going to work well. Yeah. I mean, it would work it might work okay. I don't know. I'm not super keen on heating with solar. Michelle asks, what I mean is, can it be permanently be on a flatbed trailer and tow it where you want? Okay, yeah. Yeah, you totally could do that. Okay. Karen says, maybe Bella, if you want a lot bigger than you could buy two, then connect the front. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to read that later. Sorry. Lisa, what is the difference with the 2019? You can go on our website and compare the two models side to side, but the 2019 is bigger. I think it's a bit nicer. It's a little bit taller in the loft, and we've added it's got a window. Yeah. Oh, Horn Pane is in Algoma. Cool. Yeah, we definitely can deliver there. Okay, Barb asks, where do I apply the secret code? I've answered that a couple times, but you're going to go to contest scoreboard. You go to bunkielife.com, click about, click contest scoreboard. Katie asks, windows, are they glass? Yes, they are glass. They are single pane glass. When I win, can I buy a few rounds of boards to raise the roof? Maybe. Probably not. The kit's really good. I've been perfecting this over like multiple years, guys. This is a good kit. You don't need it any higher. Okay, people got to go. I totally get that. Tracy, how many have you built? Once again, that's private, confidential business information, but a lot. And look, how many have I built personally? I've built probably 10. And then I've hired a lot out. As a company, we've built a ton. Katie asks, is it fully assembled? No. We can build for you on your site if you'd like. Marcia said, would propane not be easier than wood? Totally. I looked into the propane thing, and if you have the money, it sounds like a really great option. I went with electricity on my property because I have electricity. But if you have, I would look into propane. A little cool, like wall mount propane, little micro furnace would be great. Caroline, how do you know they're allowed by bylaw? So Ontario Building Code says anything under 10 square meters or whatever it is, it's like 107 square feet. You don't need a building permit. Your local bylaw, I would call your town and just ask, hey, I'm putting up a little shed. Call it a little shed. That gets people less excited. I'm building a little shed. The footprint is 9 by 12 or 10 by 10 or whatever it is. Do I need a permit? When they say no, say thank you. Make sure you record that call so that if you get in trouble later, you can say, I did call. Because you know how town planners are. If there's any town planners watching, I apologize. That was the truth. This is just excellent. Do you suggest it being built on a cement base or blocks? I would suggest blocks, but I would, you can do a cement base too, but I've done blocks on all mine. Tom's Print, prices include delivery. No, delivery's a little extra, usually like $300 to $500. But as I said earlier, we're doing this crazy sale, February 27th, 28th. Maybe delivery might be subsidized a little bit. We'll see. Stay tuned for that, okay? I'll say no more about that. Oh, Dale says, custom is what I need. Hayloft and storage closet. Yeah, give me a call, Dale. We'll sort you out. Marcia, what yearly maintenance for the wood? If you use the right stain, I did not use the right stain. I used Thompson Water Seal. Don't do that. But if you use the right stain, you got 8 years on it, they say. And they look way better than mine. Mine look crappy because I used the wrong product. I make all the mistakes so you don't have to, people. Okay. Staying in Bunkies has been our best vacations. Yeah, if you guys want to come stay, Erin, Ontario, and Airbnb, I'm the number 1, 2, and 3 listing. Come on and stay. Shireen says, can it sit on gravel? You want to have a nice, solid, not moving base. You can put gravel down and put blocks on top, I think. Yeah. Christine says, hey there, David. Hey, Christine. Okay. Awesome. I think the duplicate... Oh, yeah. Some people are asking duplicate question. I don't feel offended if you guys are asking duplicate question. I know people are tuning in and out. You have kids. You have lives going on. That's fine. I don't mind... I don't mind the duplicate questions. I'm happy to answer them. Deborah asked, can it be winterized? I did answer that question earlier, so I don't want to repeat myself, but yeah, no problem. Town planner's joke just hit. Okay. Karen says, height of the main floor. So when you first walk in, the lofts are above you, and I can touch the loft with my hands. And then when I walk into the main area where there's no loft, it's probably 13, 14. I should know this. 14 or 15 feet high. It's pretty... Yeah. Okay. So, Danielle says, best stain for us is Cabot. 15 years so far, still look great. More money, but worth it. Yeah, use the oil-based quality stains. If you type in Bunkie Life stain in YouTube, there's a video that I did that came right in. I think we've run through all the questions, guys. It's been a pleasure chatting. I'm going to go back to the calendar just to show. So once again, the code is Noodles. In a couple of minutes, I'm going to put that thing. You can go on the contest board to use it. Let me show you one more time how to do that. Okay, so you're going to go to... Oh, I got to turn on screen sharing. So you're going to go to bunkielife.com. You're going to click on About. I'm going to show you how to do that. So go to bunkielife.com. Then you're going to click on About and go to the option Contest Scoreboard. And then if you might need to log back in. It might say Enter to Win. If that's the case, you just need to log back in using your contest email. And you'll see this. And if you scroll all the way down here, there's going to be watch the live stream number 1, and then there's going to be a button that I'll create in just a few minutes that says watch Bunkie stream number 2. And the code word you're going to put in there is Noodles. Okay? So, yeah, let me just close off. Thank you so much. It was a marathon, an hour long. Wow, I didn't think it'd go that long. But you had a lot of great questions. My little spiel was only 10 minutes, so I heard my end of the deal. So yeah, like I said, guys, if you're interested, we are definitely going to be doing our best sale of the year, February 27th and 28th. And I want to get everybody's order together, get one nice big happy order, and we can all get our Bunkie just delivered on the same week or two. Nice happy Bunkie family. And I'm really, really excited to be doing more presentations. So I'll show you the calendar one more time here. So this is our week that we're on right now. On Friday, this exact same time, 7:30, we're going to do how to build a Bunkie. We'll go into more detail about that. And then on February 17th, we're going to how to maintain. We'll go into stain. I'm going to go into more detail. We'll talk about delivering and ordering on Tuesday, the 19th. And then Airbnb episode is the 21st. I'll tell you all the numbers. If you want to know exactly how much money I make, I'm not going to share that with Bunkie Life, but with the Airbnbs, I can go into detail because that's important information. If you're going to invest in an income option, like think about it as an income property, then you want to make sure you know your numbers. And we had a guy in New Brunswick, a client last year, that's did really well right away. He's like a super host and he's got tons of bookings. So I know the system really works. It's the best investment I've ever made. So that's the second week. And then the final week of the contest, as you know, I'm going to wrap it up on the 26th, but we'll have a little live stream on the 24th where I explain the sale and blah, blah, blah. And then on the 26th, I'm going to announce it live, just like this. We'll call, well, I can't call the winner. I'm going to email the winner and get them to call me live on the computer. So you know that's legit, because I get that some people are like skeptical, which is fair. But this is our second year doing the contest. We gave it away last year. I have lots of photos and videos to prove it. And we're going to do the same thing this year. It's a little bit crazy, but I know in my heart that when people see a generous person, that I'm going to connect with generous people like Charlene, for example, on this call earlier, like awesome people like that. And so that's the people I'm looking for, clients that want a great product, that want great service, and that are willing to pay for it or finance it. So anyways, guys, it was a pleasure chatting with you all. And if I miss any questions, or if you're watching the replay, you can still ask a question and I'll try to go back through the comments and answer it. And thanks so much for tuning in. All the best.